Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl Krista B from Those Wrestling Girls, and you know I have to tell you about my dope ass rock shirt that I finally got in the mail thanks to Ripple Junction. Ripple Junction is the best place to get all your authentic tees, whether it's WWE, whether it's The Office, whether it's any show that you love and mark over. You go over there, you order your shirt, you put it on, and boom. Also, you have to use the code Those Wrestling Girls to get 15% off your purchase. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to ripplejunction.com, order your shirt, type in the code Those Wrestling Girls, and you're also going to tell them that we sent you. And on that note, it's your girl Krista B, and I am out. Hey everybody, what's up? We're back. It's Those Wrestling Girls. Of course, it's your girl Krista B.
And Queen PR.
And today, I can't even believe we're doing this episode right now. It just feels like it took forever for it to get here. But today is part 1 of our Best of Wrestling WWE 2020. We have a fun list for you guys. Probably going to throw out some other stuff that we probably don't remember that's on our list, and we're just going to throw some off. But I can't believe that we're legit in this place, like right now.
I know. I honestly remember us recording our best of 2019 episodes last year in the studio. So it's crazy that now we're recording the best of 2020. And this year was like so crazy.
So crazy. I just feel like we were so pumped to go to SummerSlam this year. We were supposed to go to Boston. We were supposed to hang out with Naomi. We were supposed to meet, and it was just like a blow.
Yeah. And we had so many things we wanted to do this year. I think I took going to shows for granted because we were going to so many shows. And then the fact that we couldn't go or I don't even know when's the next time we'll be able to go to a show in that same way. But
Our last show was March 2nd, 2020. That's the last time we was at a show. That was Monday Night Raw.
Yes. And that honestly feels like years ago. No, we went back down too at Madison Square Garden. The next night.
No, we didn't.
We did. We went both nights, remember? Because we saw The Undertaker the next... Well, we didn't get to see The Undertaker, but...
At SmackDown?
We went Raw and SmackDown at MSG.
I know we went to we went to Raw and SmackDown. No, I said our last show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, our last show was at Barclays Center. I'm just like, wait a minute.
I'm thinking from back in the day when SmackDown was on Tuesday.
Right, I'm like, no, we did not. Like, our last show was March 2nd, 2020.
Oh, yes, you're absolutely right. Crazy.
I was like,
but yeah, we did have a good year though.
We did. We had a good year. Thank you guys for rocking with us this whole time during this crazy pandemic. Thank you for making us or letting us know that we were an outlet for you guys, because sometimes I feel like we take this for granted too. Like we put it out for us because we have fun, not realizing how we're helping others get through whatever they're going through. So we just want to say thank you for rocking with us. Thank you for letting us know y'all truths about us. And we just want to keep the ball rolling. Like, this is really only the beginning.
And it really is. And it's like another year under our belts, I guess. A whole nother year of wrestling to fucking talk about. Right. So we're just literally just going to talk about just moments this year, the good, the bad, the ugly of 2020, and just the impact it had on wrestling and all that shit. So we actually were already talking about a very memorable moment that I forgot happened this year before we started recording. And it was Shayna Baszler's debut on the main roster, biting Becky Lynch.
It's crazy. I was on my way home for that, and I saw our Twitter going crazy.
So of course I texted you. I texted P, y'all. Y'all know, like if I'm not there and P's, I'm like, what happened?
What happened?
Like, no, they was like, so Shayna's a vampire. And I was like, I'm like, what are you talking about? Shayna's a vampire. What is happening here?
Yeah.
And then I see he was like, you just got to watch it. I said, oh man.
Even now I'm thinking like it's so hard to explain. Like this was back when, you know, Becky was opening all the shows. Typical. I don't remember. This might have been after maybe Royal Rumble. I'm literally just spitballing. I know it was like after a big match or something. I think she finally beat Asuka or whatever. And everyone was expecting Shayna to come to the main roster because she had just lost the NXT championship. So she came in and I just remember her biting. Like, that's really just like what happened. Like she like, and then it was like blood everywhere. It was very confusing, but very memorable, I guess.
I mean, listen, if I wanted another Twilight movie, I would have asked for one. I'm just like, what? Like we're biting and then when I started watching, so everybody was like, so I saw the clip and I'm like, what the is happening? Like, what is going on here? And then I think you tweeted from out those Wrestling Girls account or from your account, and I'll never forget the day. It was like, so Becky gets bit, goes to the hospital, and drives herself back in the ambulance.
That, like, it was, I think that was the official moment that I was like, and I hate to say it now because I miss her so much, but this time I was so over Becky. Like, I was just, because it's like, I get it, like, she's going to be booked a certain way, but how in the hell does somebody
I don't know.
drive themselves to in an ambulance, drive themselves to the hospital, get taken care of or whatever, stitched up, whatever happened, and then drives themselves back in the ambulance? Like,
I mean, like, it's happened before, but it's happened with the men. It's never happened with the women. Like, even getting arrested. Like, when the Shield got arrested and then came back, like, they were handcuffed, all arrested, sitting together. Then you got Dean Ambrose driving the goddamn paddy wagon, and Roman and Seth kicking it like they about to be on Marvel versus DC. Like, I'm so confused.
Yeah.
So
that is so true. I was just like, what is happening? And I think it like ended on that, like Raw ended on that. I don't know. It was very, very, very weird.
That wasn't a great angle at all.
No, I'm glad Shayna was able to turn it around because I really enjoy her with Nia. I'm glad that she's being like funny because I think they wanted to make her like a monster, like maybe literally too. Right. But I'm glad that she's showing her funny side. It actually made me become a really big Shayna Baszler fan. How about you?
Right. Well, no, not for me. But, you know, I like where she's at now. Like, before, and I really thought that her sidekicks were going to come up, too. And that Ronda was going to come back. For Horsewomen.
That
I
actually...
swear, like, every episode lately, I've been yawning.
It's because we've been recording, like, late,
and we just have 50 million 11 jobs.
Yeah.
And it's just like not enough hours in the day.
And we gotta watch wrestling.
And we gotta watch wrestling. It's just like, and it's like, what sleep? What's that? Like, what? Sleep? Huh? Don't know her.
No, sleep is not a thing.
Sleep is a figment of our imaginations.
No, it really, really, really is. But I can't help but think about Becky now, and I want to get her out the way only because she just had her baby girl.
Is it Ro?
I think it's Ru or Ro. It might be Ro. I'm not exactly sure.
Ro or Ru, because you know what the X is, you know. But whatever. Yeah. Not whatever, but you know.
Yeah, but congratulations to her and Seth. I'm really happy. Who would have thought in January 2020 when she had that match at Royal Rumble with Asuka, and then she started feuding with Shayna, and she had that WrestleMania match with Shayna, which I was hoping she lost. Now I feel so bad. And then she ends up announcing that she's pregnant. She's gone, and then we end the year with her giving birth to a little baby girl.
A little baby girl. And I called it. I said she was having a girl.
You did.
I was having boys. Becky's gonna have the girl.
Yeah, I'm so glad. Another highlight of 2020 was Becky being on the Bella Twins podcast. They were all pregnant
They were all pregnant at the time.
It's funny because as soon as Becky announced her pregnancy, Bella fans were like, okay, so when you guys gonna be on the Bella Twins podcast? Because this was like the year of the pregnancy, the year of the marriage proposal. Charlotte got engaged this year. Alexa Bliss got engaged this year. Who else?
And I would never, the fact that Alexa Bliss is engaged to, what's his name?
Ryan something. His
name is Ryan, right?
Yeah.
I would never forget, and I will never forget this. I was listening to the radio. I was listening to Z100.
Wow.
And they was introducing the song and him. And it was just like, here's so-and-so. Here's the song by Ryan whatever, also known as Ashley Simpson's bitch. Yo, I kid you not. I didn't know that was him. Not that I was in tears. Mind you, this is when Ashley Simpson and him was like, this is like when Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey was married and they had their show. Like, this is how far back that goes. And I was just like, damn. I'm like, but it's good to see that Alexa Bliss, has moved on from Buddy Murphy, even though it was a while ago, but congrats to them as well.
Yeah, they seem happy. I'm really happy for them. Someone else got engaged. I'm trying to think of who. Oh no, it was a pregnant
and Leon Ruff.
Yes, congrats to them too.
Yeah,
and Renee Young and Moxley,
Dean Ambrose.
I was waiting for you to say that. That sounds like Moxley.
Dean Ambrose. Yeah, they're having a baby girl.
So these are really good segues. So another thing that happened this year, Renee Young, shockingly for me at least, left WWE.
It's because she was pregnant now. Now that we think about it, it's definitely because she was pregnant.
And well, I don't think. Well, I don't know. But so yeah, and she's coming out with a cookbook and a new podcast that people say is really good. I need to start listening. I have way too many podcasts. But
yeah, we listen to a lot of podcasts. I would just be like,
it's like nice at work, I'll have like an AirPod and I can like listen at work. But
I think sometimes for me, when it comes down to us recording hours and then listening to others, I'm just like, is there a button where I can just pause everything? Like, put everything on pause for a minute. Like, don't get me wrong, I love doing our podcast.
Yeah,
but it's just like when you exercise every day, but then you see all these fitness videos and workout tapes and stuff, and then like you just want to pause everything, just to breathe. So now, now I gotta add Renee Young's new podcast. I gotta catch up on the Bella's podcast. I gotta catch up on Black Girl podcast. Like.
It's so many. It's so many. There was another so Alexa Bliss, she did a lot this year actually. She was tag team champions with Nikki Cross. I think like for most of this year, that was pretty much what she was doing. And then lately she's really like shocked everybody, I guess, and changed her character and is now with The Fiend. And I was really hoping once they teased it with Braun Strowman and everything, I was really hoping that they used Alexa not just as like the damsel in distress, and like they really did start using her. How have you been feeling about it?
It's grown on me because I never really liked The Fiend just because of transphobia issues that I have, but it's really growing on me, and I'm just like,
yeah, why
do I like this so much? Like, why is this drawing me closer? Like, am I letting him in? Like, is that what I'm doing?
And I'm so excited for that.
Like, I don't know if I want to let him in, but I'm pretty sure when I go to bed tonight, Alexa, nor The Fiend, nor Bray, better end up in my room.
There's WWE shop is selling Elf on the Shelf, but like a little Fiend. And I'm like, that's cute and all, and I like to collect the Fiend merch, but that would creep me the fuck out.
It's crazy. Like, I was thinking about adding that to your Christmas gift.
You should.
I said I was thinking about it. I didn't do it though. I was like,
I would definitely try to fit it somewhere then. Just somewhere that, like, if it's dark, it's not gonna look like it's staring at me or
staring at you.
Yeah. So I want to talk about the tag team championships real quick because they changed hands. Now that I think about it, 3 times this year. No, maybe. So we had the Kabuki Warriors were champion at one point. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, Sasha Banks and Bailey, and now
Nia. Yeah.
Oh, maybe they did change 4 times. Wow.
Yeah.
3 times, something like that. That's a lot.
It wasn't. But Nikki and Alexa was champions twice.
I think last year and this year.
No, they wasn't twice this year either.
Yes. I have to look. I don't know. I will have to look it up.
Y'all. We're legit tired. Okay.
I am so tired, and it's so crazy. So I was going through like all of the things, all of the pay-per-views and stuff that happened this year, and like trying to think back. And of course, you guys helped us out on Twitter and stuff. And like this year, because it was so fucking weird on so many other levels, like feels so long. So when I'm looking at things from like Royal Rumble and even WrestleMania, it feels like a year ago that happened, and so much has happened since then. So it's like it's a lot. But I wanted to ask you, Krista, because someone on our Twitter had mentioned, because Lana, at this point that we're recording this, Lana and Asuka are challenging for the tag team championships against Nia and Shayna Baszler at TLC. So I asked, like, okay, how would you guys feel if Lana and Asuka won the tag team championships? Because that would make Asuka a double champion and Lana would get her first championship. And someone said that the championship belts don't matter or mean anything anymore. How do you feel about that?
Who said that?
Agree? Some random Twitter person.
So let me call them out. Who said that?
I don't know. I like kind of muted them because I just feel like I don't need that kind of negativity. But I wouldn't say that.
AKA for she's saving your ass. She's saving your ass. Yeah. So here's my take on that comment. One, you're ignorant as fuck if you feel as if the women work so hard to have this accomplishment for you to say that they don't mean anything anymore. Mm-hmm. Women are still working hard. Granted, we have unlikely tag teams among the women's division because none of them are really coming in pairs except for the Iconics. So therefore, you can just go sit in a corner somewhere. And that's me. That's the nice way of me putting it. Yeah. I feel like they do matter. They do hold meaning. And you get to see unlikely teams. Like nobody ever thought to see Shayna and Nia as a tag team.
Right.
Nobody thought to see Lacey Evans and Peyton Royce be a tag team. Mm-hmm. Naomi and Carmella be a tag team. Everybody knew Sasha and Bailey because they're part of the 4 Horsewomen. We knew that. But like you see the unlikelihood and the unlikeliness of a sisterhood. Like for tribute of the troops, I had like this epiphany. I'm like, yo, they about to make Bianca and Sasha a tag team.
It worked. It worked.
It
worked. Really did.
So for you to say it don't matter, you can literally go sit in the corner, and that's the nice way of me putting it.
Yeah, for sure. Because honestly, like, of course, I wish more was done as far as like, I don't know what the tag, and I really think we should do a real talk episode about the tag team division in general, because it feels like this was also the year of breaking up tag teams. And I have to bring up the Iconics breaking up because I still to this day don't understand why they broke up the Iconics. I know like you're not a particular fan, but they were the one legit tag team that totally worked. They were already over. They were getting really good in the ring. They were getting more aggressive. And I think they should have had one more title run before breaking them up. Or I wish WWE had a plan for them after they broke up, like have them feud against each other or something. Like it just feels like it was just done for no reason.
I think that they broke up. We have to think realistically here when it comes down to COVID. A lot of these wrestlers are not on the roster right now. Like they're on the roster, but they're not fighting right now. Mm-hmm. So you have to break it up and sparse it out as much as you can. It sucks that a lot of tag teams are broken up because now you think about it, Naomi's on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
but Jimmy and Jay are a tag team, and technically the rules are you go where your spouse goes. Mm-hmm. So they're gonna break up the Usos when Jimmy comes back.
See, I feel like I feel like that was more a rule when they were traveling, but I think because they all go to the same building, I think they might, I feel like they can keep couples like on separate brands. So I don't know. I wish they would have done more with the Iconics. And then what's even weirder to me is then they had Peyton Royce randomly teaming Evans, and it's just like, okay, so if you were just gonna put her with some, like, my thing is like, okay, the whole thing was they're gonna push Peyton Royce, Vince loves Peyton, they're gonna push her now, but then you just throw her with a random person in a tag team. So if that was the case, why don't you just keep her in a successful tag team with Billie Kay?
Right. I don't. Lacey bores me.
I tried with Lacey. I can't.
She bores me. She's not.
I can't.
I'm not saying she's not a good athlete, but her character bores me.
Yeah, and I really like her like outside of the ring, but I don't know, something hasn't clicked with me for her. So this year she feuded, and this also feels like fucking years ago, she feuded with Bayley and Sasha Banks. And this is when they were trying to make her into like a good guy or like a face. And it was like really weird because then she was all of a sudden like anti-bullying. And then I was like, your whole character for like the last 2 years was being a bully. So like I'm a little confused. So that's, I think, where they kind of like lost me with her, because I enjoyed disliking heel Lacey Evans because I thought she was good at it. And then they tried to like switch her, and then they threw her. It was weird, but her daughter was cute. She was like a little star.
Summer. Yep.
She became a little star in her own right.
Mm-hmm. But that was really this. Damn.
I know, it's crazy. And Bayley and Lacey Evans had a championship match at Royal Rumble.
They did.
Who remembered that? I was like, looking back, I was like, oh, that happened?
See, the Royal Rumble was just a sad day.
Yeah, let's get Royal Rumble out the way. One, because I love Royal Rumble, and I can't believe it's already about to be another year. Rest in peace to Pat Patterson. But that was a sad day.
That was a sad day. You know, we found out that the legend, the Black Mamba, along with his daughter and 7 other people, perished in the plane crash. And we were just trying to be as jovial as possible. And then
sorry, that was my Alexa.
That's okay. We were just trying to be as jovial as possible, and
it was hard.
It was hard. And then like being that we were at Legends, you know, we had a good time at Legends. We were surrounded by all our Legends family. Thanks to the Jabba Tears podcast. But it was just like it was hard. Like everybody kept doing their tributes. Huh?
It was like a dark cloud over the whole night.
I feel like the parts that had good moments in it was Bianca Belair.
Yes.
Star, like
that was like a star-making night for Bianca. Like from her coming out, I think she was number 2.
Like,
I think she was really, honestly, that was her night. That was definitely her night. And they kept
teasing her and Charlotte.
Yeah.
Even at Survivor Series, they teased her and Charlotte. I'm just like,
I'm ready for it. Oh, we'll get to Charlotte too, because she had the 2020 for sure.
Mm-hmm. But I feel like the highlight of Royal Rumble, as we all know, was our Miss Glow Queen.
Oh my God.
That for that round that she was in there, it made me forget of the tragedy that took place.
Same. That was probably the only thing for me that night that I got lost in it, where I didn't remember that, you know, like fucking Kobe Bryant just died. Like that's when I like screamed. Like that's when it felt like, because like we shout out to Jabba Tears, like we go to Legends and we like to get lost, especially for me in the Royal Rumble. I love getting lost in the surprise. So I had 2 disappointments that night.
You did. You were so mad.
Sasha Banks to like, I don't know why. I just had this feeling because she had just come back after SummerSlam the previous year, last year. And I just had this feeling that she was gonna win the Royal Rumble. Like I was like, this is gonna be her year, or at least make a like surprise, because she wasn't in it. She was in the first one, but she opened it, so there wasn't that surprise. There was, but like she was in it for mad long. Then she wasn't in it the previous year. She had that match with Ronda, so I was like, oh my god, I can't wait. You know, this is gonna be her year, and she never fucking came in.
Y'all, when I tell y'all, P was so upset.
Big shirt on and everything.
She was so upset, y'all.
I was 30. I think fucking Santina. That Royal Rumble is definitely my least favorite of the women's 2020. Charlotte winning.
Yeah, I was like, what?
And then she eliminated Shayna, and I was just like, I would have. I don't know. I was all fucked up that night. Like you said, it was a crazy night.
I was just like, like this ain't good. You got Santina coming back. What?
It was a good, like I remember being like, oh my god, okay, but then I really thought about it and I was just like, why? You know, like just why? There's so many legends I feel like I wish could have took that spot. So many girls in NXT. Sasha Banks could have been in that spot, but Naomi saved it for me.
Number
and
18
that she got from the world. Like there were people that never on my timeline that never watched wrestling a day in their life. They were posting Naomi like, who is this girl? I don't watch wrestling, but now I do. Like I want to learn more. Our followers went up. Like I think you have a highlight this year too that you can.
I do have a highlight this year. I can't believe that was this year, bro.
I know.
So after Royal Rumble, I went to my boss. Shout out to Breaking Lou and the whole High 97 fam. And I was like, hey, I got to pitch this story. I got to pitch the Black Girl Magic story in WWE because we rising right now. Like we have to do so. So I pitched it. But he was like, okay, let's dive into it, whatever. I saw that Essence magazine published a story. Shout out to Imani Bashir, sorry, girl. Me and her become really, really good friends. I reached out to her to ask her, hey, can you help me with this? I want to do a story similar to yours for High 97. Can you get me in contact with, Naomi, Bianca, whoever you can? She's like, okay, no problem. Literally, me and Imani spoke for about an hour or so on the phone. Wow. And then I spoke to Naomi's publicist and Bianca personally. Naomi called me and that was it. Like we had a conversation. Bianca called me. Bianca actually called me on FaceTime. We actually FaceTimed and we were speaking and had conversations. And then Bianca has been a big part of my story too, because she's also helped. Like it's not like, okay, she had her part and then that was it. She also helped. So she actually helped me get Mia Yim to be a part of it as well. And I felt like it was very important for me to tell the story from Mia Yim's point of view because of the fact that she's always being bullied because people don't think that she's half Black. She just looks straight. She looks full on Asian and everybody's like, but you're not even Black though. You're not even Black. So I felt like it was very important for me to get her side. And they all loved it. Like, oh my gosh. Like it
came out as such a great article, by the way.
Thank you. Shout out to Bianca, Naomi, and Mia. Thank you ladies for being a part of that. I hope to do more with you guys.
Yeah, they all three have been super supportive ever since. Like they shout us out on social media, everything. So thank you. And beyond, we actually have a Krista B sound off with Bianca Belair on our Patreon. So if you haven't checked that out, highlight of 2020. So please check that out. And it's actually what I love about that, and I'm glad that we're talking about it, is that it's not about wrestling. Actually, like we actually talked to Bianca Belair as like 3 Black women that are living and existing and working in America and our experiences. And it's really, really good. And Bianca is so smart and like, oh my God.
Her book list. Bianca, we didn't forget about that book list.
Girl, because I was really let me get my Kindle. Let me free up some storage.
Right. No, but the conversation really stemmed from a place of, well, we knew, of course, it's reality, but it just stemmed from a place of frustration, hurt, and feeling like unseen, because it came up. We spoke to her around the time of George Floyd.
Yep. It was right in the midst of it.
Right in the middle of George Floyd, the midst of Breonna Taylor's case, trying to figure out what's going on with Breonna Taylor's case. We like all of those people, and then we mentioned the Sean Bells, we mentioned the Eric Garners, we mentioned how black women, black people, black women, black men, like we are so, they want us to be so inferior to them. And the conversation is a really, really real conversation. We talked about code switching, and how it's not easy for us to be in these rooms. So when we're in these rooms with people who are high, who don't look like us, we have to take up as much space as possible. So it was a really, really great conversation. I'm so glad that Bianca decided to be a part of that with us, and we just need y'all to go check that out.
No, please do. And we did a lot of fun stuff on our Patreon this year. So if you haven't already become a patron, it's $1 a month. So support the kids. Like, come on. But
girls,
right? So Bianca Belair definitely for me is like 2021 is definitely going to be that year. I think she's going to hold a championship in WWE. I think she should have gotten a chance to hold the NXT championship before she moved up, but it is what it is.
Listen, so Charlotte could be NXT champion again, so can Bianca, so can Becky. So yeah, there's hope.
Right. There's hope. So let's get that out the way too. So Charlotte, it's weird because at this point in recording it, it feels like she hasn't been around, but she had a very eventful 2020 in the beginning. She won the Royal Rumble, which I was totally surprised. I don't think she needed to win it, but whatever. I was like you said, that was just a very lackluster in my least favorite Rumble match. But then she challenged, which I thought was cool. She challenged for the NXT championship as opposed to the Raw or the SmackDown, because who wanted to see her against Bayley and Becky again? So I thought that was cool. And she wins the NXT championship at WrestleMania. And I just was like, why? Like, I don't like, and even in hindsight, like, sometimes I'll change my mind, but I just feel like that should have been a night that Rhea Ripley was made into a star. That should have been the night that Charlotte Flair made a star. Yeah, put her over. And I get it, the quarantine, this was a WrestleMania like no other, and we could get to that too. But that was so lackluster to me. That's probably one of my least favorite moments of the year. And
what's crazy? I was just looking at how fast things can happen in a small amount of time. We're officially about to be a year. Like, we went in lockdown in March. We're already in December, so it's like 9 months now. And I was looking at our WrestleMania 35 highlights, and I was just like, yo, we gotta do this again. Like, we was in 2 different places until we met up at the end. And I'm just like, yo, I really miss this.
Me too.
I really didn't put that many highlights from WrestleMania in it because I was just living in the moment. Mm-hmm. But I'm just like, yo, they still got our point of views. I still got our reactions. Yeah. And it's just like, why Rona? Like, why fuck this up?
It just ruined so many different things. Like, oh my God, like us we were supposed to go to Money in the Bank in Baltimore this year. Like, there's so many plans that we had that just like didn't happen. Oh, you frozen, girl. Krista B's having technical difficulties.
I'm here. You see me?
Okay, now I do. Yeah.
Okay. You was having them too. We were both having them. I feel like once the world opens back up fully, because coronavirus is something that's never going to go. But once this
Oh.
Going. Oh man. Do you see me now?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay. I'm going to appreciate going places to wrestling events so much more now.
Yeah, me too. Me too, for sure. So yeah, that was Charlotte winning. She was NXT champion for whatever reason. So let's talk about WrestleMania, since that's a big deal. And that was 2 nights, which I actually kind of like low-key liked, because I went to sleep that night and I woke up, I was like, oh my god, it's like another night of WrestleMania.
35 was you, child.
Long. So people were saying that they would be okay with that being the format moving forward. How do you feel about that?
A 2-night WrestleMania?
Yeah. Like for good.
But how?
They would just have it on 2 nights.
But my thing is that how? The reason why they had it on 2 nights is because they took out Hall of Fame. So where would they put it? We got NXT on Fridays, Hall of Fame on Saturday, Mania on Sunday, Raw on Monday, and now SmackDown on Friday.
I don't know.
So where they putting that? Are they gonna put Hall of Fame on Thursday?
Possible. Also, what's happening with the Hall of Fame? Like, there was no ceremony, and
apparently they're supposed to host the 2020 Hall of Fames for 2021, or have 2 nights of Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay. I mean, that'd be cute
for all the 2020s and then for all the 2021s. And if Undertaker is not in the Hall of Fame of 2021,
no, that's happening. You already know that's happening. I'm gonna need my Bella twins to have their proper ceremony, because haters love to bring up the fact that they're not really Hall of Famers because there was no ceremony. Yes, they are.
They're Hall of Famers.
They're definitely Hall of Famers. And that happened this year, which also feels like years ago. They announced it. I remember they came on Moment of Bliss, and they had also just announced that they were pregnant. That happened this year. Oh shit. The Bella twins were pregnant at the same time. They had their baby boys, which is super
Mateo
cute.
And Buddy.
Yes, super
Oh my
cute.
goodness. Nikki Bella posted a picture of Mateo's face today on her Instagram. That's Artem's face.
Oh my god. Her and Brie just pop out just twins fathers, because Buddy looks like Daniel Bryan, Birdie looks like just like Daniel Bryan, and Artem and his blue eyes are, oh my god, they're beautiful.
That is Mateo, literally. That's, oh my god, face snatchers. That's exactly what that is. Face snatchers.
Artem, he won Dancing with the Stars this year, so that I guess is a highlight of 2022. Mm-hmm. Randomly, Alexa Bliss got a podcast, Uncool with Alexa Bliss this year, so that, shout out to her. My show Backstage got canceled. That sucked.
But now we have Raw Talk. I don't even know where to watch Raw Talk at.
I don't know. Raw Talk, and then you guys Talking Smack. It's just, it's so much content. What else happened this year? So random. I really enjoyed. So you know how I've always felt about Tamina. If you guys been listening to us since day one, I was never a yes. Shout out to Krista B. She got the sweater on. Krista B. particularly is a Tamina fan. I was really never moved by her, but here I really became a Tamina fan. I seen this other side of her personality come out when she was feuding with Bayley for that short amount of time, and I wish they would have committed a little longer to that. She was putting things on social media, and it seemed like she was really coming out of her shell, which sounds crazy because she's been in the company for like 100 years. But I was really looking forward to like a Tamina run or something. I think she won the 24/7 championship this year, but I was hoping they did more with her.
Same. I feel like they always need to do more with Tamina, but I feel like because of her stature, they don't know how to put her. So it was like, all right, we're going to put Nia Jax with Shayna. Mm-hmm. But I like Nia and Tamina together more so than Nia and Shayna.
I like them together. I also wouldn't mind them feuding.
Right. So I'm just like, okay, well, we just got to see what happens.
Yeah. And she was in, so WrestleMania had 4 women's matches, 2 on each night. So we had Charlotte and Rhea Ripley. Ray talked about that. Becky and Shayna. And Becky won that match too, which I also didn't want to happen. I was so ready for Becky to drop that belt at this point.
I'm not a Shayna fan. Nope. I was happy.
And then Liv Morgan had just came back, and she was like, people were excited for what was happening. Nobody really knew what direction, because she was in like that Lana storyline, and then Ruby came back and like turned on her, so it was like weird. But she had a really good match with Natalia, I think, on the pre-show of one of the WrestleMania that people say was good. And then Bayley defended her SmackDown championship against Sasha, Naomi, Tamina, and Lacey Evans, which I also completely forgot about for some reason. And everyone thought this was the night that Sasha would, or Bayley, or one of them would finally turn on each other. But we all know that didn't happen yet.
Not that. I mean, I like that build though to that turn.
Me too.
I didn't expect Bayley to do it.
Yeah, I was so into the Golden Role Models too. Like, I was so entertained by them. Like, I was like, oh my God. They even when they had all the gold, I was like, I loved it. Like, they were just so funny to me. Like, I really and then there was one point where they were on every show. Like, they did a couple NXT appearances, and Sasha Banks put on a banger with Io Shirai. It was just a good run. Like, that whole,
that was actually a good ass match too.
Right. Oh my God. And I think it was like at the Great American Bash, and like once they announced the match, there didn't even need to be any buildup. Like, WWE just threw it out there, like Sasha Banks versus Io Shirai, and everyone just knew like this is about to be a classic.
Right. And I feel like WWE can do that with certain people for certain matches.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't have to be a build. So kudos to Sasha.
Yeah, this was her year too. I got to give it to her. Bayley won #1 in the Pro Wrestling Illustrated, and I think Sasha was #5, but I believe that's only because of the time frames that they use. But I would be very surprised if Sasha's not #1 next year.
Right, me too. Boycott.
That would be, shout out to Pro Wrestling Illustrated, because that was another highlight. So we got to collaborate with them, and they want to collaborate more with us, which is exciting.
Right.
And we were able to see the whole list before anyone, and we did a fun live episode with them after they were able to give us the list. So that was super fun. And but Sasha has to be #1. I know she's #1 in my book. She was in The Mandalorian this year.
Right. Her acting debut in The Mandalorian. Yep.
Yeah. And a lot of Mandalorian fans that are not WWE fans were disappointed to learn that she wasn't going to be in the next season, which I thought was cool.
Oh, well,
yeah,
shit happens.
Yeah. Shout out to that. Shout out to Bayley and Sasha finally turning on each other, having a 5-star match at Hell in a Cell, and Sasha finally winning the SmackDown Championship, and she retained it.
She's retaining, y'all.
All her haters could shut the fuck up, because she did it.
She is retaining.
She did. I want to throw it back to out of what we usually talk about, because we both love this particular person, Sonya Deville. She really broke out as a star this year too.
I need to bring my boo back. I need a moment.
She's been posting a lot of good suit pics lately too. I'm like, girl, when you come back?
Sonya, like, I need to know who your tailor is, who your seamstress is. I need some suits, sis. Like, seriously, I need some suits. Yeah. I will rock a tailored Sonya Deville type suit, okay?
She looks so good in that.
Like, girl, hit my line, sis. Hit my line, please.
Sonya Deville definitely, they always positioned Mandy Rose as like the star because of obvious blonde. Like, no shade to Mandy Rose, but she's the prototype that WWE loves. And I always felt so disrespected when they used to blur Sonya Deville and Mandy's entrance. So I was happy when Sonya finally turned on Mandy, because I wasn't expecting it. And they started feuding, and the feud actually was really, really good. Like, I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to SmackDown.
That's true. I lived for the feud. Was so here for it. And then, the trade happened, and then the legal stuff happened with Sonya Deville, and she's not on WWE no more. But I did hear that she might be coming back soon. Well, hopefully. I mean, because she didn't leave on bad terms. I feel like she just had to go because
break.
Yeah. So, which we shall see.
We shall see. How did you feel about Mandy and the Otis storyline?
I thought it was so cute. I'm still rooting for Mandy and Otis. I'm still rooting for Modus. Come on, Modus.
Oh, like another situation they broke up, which I was so confused about because it worked. And when he saved her at Royal Rumble, I love that. That was super cute. And I like them together. I was hoping they did more with that. So we just have this list, guys. So I'm just gonna just name shit on the list. So we already
know all of it because we gotta still do a part 2.
We gotta still do a part 2. Kairi Sane, she left WWE. And so she works for WWE Japan now. So she does a lot of work with them. And I think it was one of those cases from what I read, is she just wants to go home. Like she had just got married. We're in the middle of a pandemic. There was so many political things and just weird things happening, and she just wanted to go back home. So they let her, and I was like, okay, cool. But I missed her. I love the Kabuki Warriors. Hopefully she'll come back.
This run is over. People will be back.
Yeah.
I have to mention this one thing. This is an honorable mention for me, even though it's not a female. But I just have to mention the Undertaker AJ Styles match at WrestleMania.
That was good.
That was like one of the. Now I feel like if they have 2 nights of WrestleMania, something like that, pre-recorded, really, really good or whatever, has to be aired on WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Because it's like you can't just give us that one thing and then to make it disappear. Like I won't allow it.
Yeah. That is one thing everyone was saying that was a plus that came out of everything going on with the pandemic, is that it really brought out the creativity in WWE, because the cinematic matches were really good. Like I loved the Fiend and John Cena's match. It was a Firefly Funhouse match. That was
confused me a little bit, but I got it. I understood it. I was like, wait.
I was like, oh my God, that's like so good. So just talking about people that left this year. So another thing that happened, which feels like so long ago, like every company had to do budget cuts. So WWE, there was this day, and it just felt so dark, where like 20 people got released or furloughed or however you want to call it. And it was just like announcement, like every hour it was like a new person got released. Unfortunately, Sarah Logan was released, and I was disappointed because she had just started like finding her way. She was like on Main Event having really good matches. She had like teased them at like a few with Charlotte, and then they let her go, and then that was the end of the Riot Squad, and then they broke up the Riot Squad, and then that was that.
But now she's pregnant, so congratulations to her.
I know, congratulations. And they just posted some dope pregnancy pics. Becky's pregnancy pics dope. This was the year for that. Go ahead, girls. Y'all killing it. But I gotta also just talk about our New York queen, who sadly got terminated this year, and I'm gonna miss her so much. And that's Zelina Vega. She got fired for a breach of contract. There was this whole thing with WWE stars having accounts on third-party sites like Cameo, Twitch, and then I read that she would really cross the line when she created an OnlyFans for cosplay, and they were like, "You gotta go." So
she created OnlyFans.
Yeah, I know.
I thought it was because she didn't want to give up her Twitch information.
Well, that was something that they were going back and forth on, but then once she created the OnlyFans, then Vince was like.
But my thing is that OnlyFans is not all for pervy stuff. Like you can do your OnlyFans and not have nudity up there or porn or whatever. Yes, granted, that's what it's tagged as, but people are on OnlyFans for other reasons as well. It could be dumb reasons like barking as a dog.
I've seen
because there's
OnlyFans.
Right. I think it's gonna make you a 6-figure legend. Why not?
I think it's because WWE is so family friendly. It's like, yeah.
You mean right now they family friendly?
Well, that's the brand that they try to portray. I don't think they want their wrestlers on OnlyFans.
Yeah, because Addis whoever fucked us up. So I'm just like now.
Shout out to that. We also released merch this year.
We did a lot. We ended up on Tamron Hall.
We did.
And it seems like we did so little.
I know, but we really did a lot. We really, really did. I can't wait to be able to go to shows again. You know what else happened this year that I forgot? And I'm like disappointed in myself. So Bailey and Naomi had a SmackDown Women's Championship match at Super Showdown.
Mm-hmm.
So they made history, and so did I want to say Lana and Natalia, or I mean not Lana and Natalia and Lacey, but I could be thinking of last year because time is all fucked up for me ever since quarantine.
Right, like everything is merging.
Yeah, shout out to them. So yeah, I think this was a good part one. What do you think?
I think this is a good part one because I feel like we got a lot more stuff to go.
Yeah, we really did. Happened this year.
We touched on people, but we didn't get in depth of what they were like, what they did, or so we definitely got to come back to this. Definitely got to come back to this.
Yes, we really, really do. So I want to share, I just got the idea. I want to share some Spotify stats, kind of like our recap of this year.
Yeah,
just so that we can have it in our in this episode, and we can see like how much we've grown, because it's like so insane. And people, like you said earlier in the episode, like it was so hard for us to just like everyone else, we struggled like hell this year with the quarantine, with things happening politically and like all that kind of stuff. Like it was really hard for us, and we didn't always feel like we should keep going. So the fact that you guys would reach out to us and say like, you guys, kept us through, you guys were an escape, that you guys helped us then want to keep going. And
right. And you guys helped us escape too, because we both had loss in our family this year. We both felt like, all right, we probably just want to hang this up after this. We both were just like, all right, we can't record in the studio. We can't have that interaction. If we can't, then what's the point? So you guys literally helped us get through too. So right.
We do. So the country where we grew the most listeners was the UK. Which is very interesting. Our audience grew 425% in the UK and 300% in Ireland. So, hey guys.
That's that Becky episode. That's that Becky episode. Hey y'all.
Right? Our podcast resonated in 23 countries.
Wow.
Crazy. So our hours that people listened grew by 369%, which is crazy. 264% growth in our streams, 257% growth in our followers. It's just like, I just can't thank you guys enough. And shout out to Spotify for dropping these.
Right.
For stats. It was just such a good insight to know that we're big in Europe, and like these are things you would never imagine. So thank you guys.
Across the pond. I guess now we got to go to Europe.
We definitely got to go to Europe.
That's
the goal for next year, for sure.
Host a live Those Wrestling Girls podcast show in Europe.
Yes. I love
that into existence. Okay.
Let's speak that into existence, and make sure you guys take our best of 2020 poll, because then we'll do an awards on Twitter like we did last year, a thread of the winners for that, and we can't do that without you. So make sure you help us out. Make sure you guys come to Thirsty Thursdays. It's every second Thursday of the month with Face Beat Heels High podcast, and by the time this comes out, we would have already done our holiday party, last one of 2020. So make sure you check us out for the first one of 2021. I think it's January 14th. But yeah, make sure you do that. New episodes every other Monday, part 2 coming. And let us know if we missed anything, what we should talk about in the next part. Yeah.
And that's it. And on that note, it's your girl, Krista B.
And Queen PR.
We are out. See you for part 2.
everybody, it's me, Queen PR, one half of those wrestling girls, and I'm here to remind you that we dropped our very first capsule collection to celebrate 2 years of those wrestling girls. It's our Attitude Era themed. It's only going to be available for a limited time only, so make sure you check it out. We have a hoodie, t-shirt, mugs, and a little bit more, so make sure you check that out, and thank you for supporting those wrestling girls.